So we're back, and progress is slow, if not stunted altogether. So we ran into a predicament with the spool gun. I tried every different thickness of wire, and it just basically, in order to properly weld aluminum with a spool gun, you need to be into the spray transfer process. And most welders, including mine, you have to get, it has to be at least 22 volts on your heat, regardless of the material that you're welding. Like, you're not into spray transfer unless you have that much heat, and it's a ton of wire speed. And I played around with 045, 35, and I ended up going all the way down to 030. And welding, new aluminum, the stuff we're putting in to other new aluminum, it was fine. But welding this material to the boat, it was not working out. It's just not. It's too much heat. It's only like 14 gauge. Or roughly around there, which is at the ragged edge of what a spool gun can handle. Like, I could kind of do it, but you have to move so insanely fast, and then still only weld maybe 2 inches, and you'd start blowing holes in it. I couldn't. I could turn the welder down and get down below 22 volts and do short circuit welding, and it's just it's not the right way to do it. It's not with short circuit welding. With aluminum, the aluminum pulls the heat out of it too quickly, so the welds may look somewhat appealing, I guess, but they're not going to be strong. They're going to be brittle, and they're just going to break. So I had to bite the bullet and get a TIG. It's stupid. It's ironic, that the guys who are welding these proper river boats up, these shops that actually sell river boats, they use spool guns for the most part, because they can get away with it, because they, 1/4 inch bottoms and 3/16 sides, and all the material they're working with is relatively thick, where I'm trying to build a shittier version of what they build, and I have to utilize a TIG welder instead of just a simple, quick, easy to set up spool gun. You just blow right through stuff. So this, not only do I got to learn how to TIG weld now, because I've never touched one of these things in my life. I've been MIG welding for, 12 years. I can do that with my eyes closed, but I've never touched a TIG welder. We do some stick at work too for the real high, like a lot of welding required. We'll get both welders out. One of them's a old buzz box. But I've never, like I said, I've never TIG welded. Never had a reason to TIG weld. Never had even the ambition to learn how to TIG weld. I didn't really care. The wire feed did everything I needed it to do, or any welding I needed to do. The MIG took care of it. So we're gonna have this, obviously, the progress is gonna go kind of slow here, because I got to learn how to do this. There's a lot more going. There's like my first, so you can see some boogery shit and some stuff that sort of half-assed resembles a weld. And don't get me wrong, I'm not gonna wait to return to the boat, until I get absolutely perfect dime stacks. Like, they don't have to look perfect, and they'll be perfectly functional for this boat. Like, this is gonna take me years to get good at. So I don't. As soon as I can get to the point where I'm confident in the integrity of my welds, whatever they look like, we're going back to the boat. But I can already tell this is going to be the way to go with this project, because it's so much easier to keep the heat out of this really thin aluminum. And I spent, it's not a Lincoln or a Miller, and it's the digital Eastwood's 200 amp, but it has the pulse feature to it in DC and AC, and every parameter is adjustable. And so it helps a lot with this thinner stuff, because you put the horsepower to it, and then it backs off, and then it back into it, and then it backs off. So it's kind of just spot welding along, and it, if you do it right, which I have not yet, obviously, but you can weld just a paper thin little coupon like this and not even hardly warp it at all. Keep it right straight. I'm a long ways from that, but so I'm gonna sit down for the next, I don't know how long. I got a lot of filler, so, and I got a whole bunch of the old floor supports. I don't know what I did with them. The original floor supports in the boat it's what this is. They're like the length of the boat. We're not using them anymore. They're not near strong enough. But I think it's the same thickness as the rest of the hull. So I'm just going to keep cutting the old floor supports up and making these little buggers and just chug away at this. And I need to get some proper gloves. I can't feed the filler with these shit gloves. I've never had a need to have good welding gloves. With squirt gun welder, you just walk up and just start going. I never really cared, but I think I gotta care now. So I don't know. We'll see how this. I mean, you could see some of those on there weren't terrible. So I'm sort of half-assed getting the hang of it. It's not like I said, it's not the torch, it's the feeding the filler that my left hand is retarded. I'm right-handed, but I'm like really right-handed. So that's going to take some just sitting there doing it for hours on end. But I mean, for the price you pay for these things, you get, this thing's got a lot of features to it. And it's pretty cool because there's preset programs. They have all the settings, all the parameters kind of at a factory rough setting for, say, 16th aluminum. And you can create your own programs and save them into the welder too. So they kind of get you in the ballpark. They did this from the factory, and so it gets you started, and everything's just about right, obviously, because I was able to go right after that, and it didn't explode in my face. So yeah, I guess that's about it. I'm gonna learn how to TIG weld here real quick, and then hopefully we start making some progress on the boat again here. So yeah, thanks for watching.